All right.
Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode.
Of Live.
Let
Thrive.
Man.
Hello,
My bad.
hello. Now you can hear us, talking while we're recording. That's all right. He's just checking out the feed. We're live. We're live in two spots, right?
Yeah, I just shared it. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
But man, so pretty much hopping in. What episode we on?
We're on episode 74. This is what's going on, folks. To describe it to you guys that are just listening in the podcast world. We're recording on Facebook Live. So live recording, whatever. And also we're recording on YouTube Live. So we're like going intergalactic with this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we kind of got to get some faces to the names.
I guess so. People want to see us. They've been asking, hey, we want to see y'all.
Yeah, even the dude on YouTube. What did he say? He said, what happened to your episodes? We're from 40 to 70.
40 to 70. We skipped a few. We skipped, Grant Cardone style, skip up to the big numbers.
Yes, sir.
Hey, oh yeah, one fan said back in the day, he goes before she saw it, she's like, I pictured two middle-aged balding black dudes talking. So, sorry to disappoint you. We got a lot of hair left going on, and whatever. So glad this is Live Let Thrive, the podcast, the best podcast in the world, I think.
Share economy.
Airbnb,
Turo. Oh yeah, I kept saying I'm gonna get the Turo guy on. We finally have a date scheduled with the Turo dude, January 7th. We'll get him on. But yeah, so what's been up on the Airbnb world on your side?
Oh, nothing much. Hold on, hold that thought 1 second.
In the YouTube live, you can't hear anything.
You can't hear in the YouTube live?
No.
Okay.
I can hear myself. I can hear the TV.
Let me see if I can mess with it. This is live TV, y'all.
That's why I scream. I'm sorry.
This is YouTube live?
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Can you hear it in YouTube live? Say something.
Boom.
Is it all you hear is that?
Let me
Yeah,
go.
visuals are good. I can't hear you guys.
Who put that?
My boy
I need
Antonio.
to-
Okay, let's try it again on here. I'll close it out.
Now click those three. Yeah, that.
I already know.
Oh, this is mute microphone. Now check. 1, check 2.
Let me check over the window.
Check. I just hit mute. Okay, unmute. Check. Are we back?
I don't know. I can't hear it. Oh well, you can hear the podcast version or get on Facebook Live.
Well, let me start it up over again
All
here.
right.
Sure you want to. Okay. That's weird. Talk to the guests. I mean, that.
Hold on.
Oh, we just. All right, technical difficulties, y'all. Episode 74. Okay. Done. Next. Go live. All right. I hope people can hear us now.
Hold on. I'll check.
Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Let me see. Close this. I had the orientation wrong.
No, I ain't gonna. Hold on, that might work, but I'll see.
What are you trying to do?
I'm just looking at it to see if it's
Let's see. 74. Done. Next. Okay, next.
shout out to my boy Raheem, Radio Raheem. I always call people named Raheem that man.
Radio Rahim.
Love that movie.
Are we live and direct?
Hold on.
You're live. Let's see if that works. Ask him if you can hear. What up, what up? Are we back? Should we jump into the show?
Yeah, let's go. I can't tell. Let's go.
All right, cool. All right, episode 74, Live, Let, Thrive. We're going to just jump right into it. We had some technical difficulties, but I think we're back now. And yes, sir. How you been, Myka?
Good, man. Been hustling, getting my hustle on. How about yourself?
So floating, surviving, man, you know?
Yeah, man. Back into the corporate world, so, you know,
This
it is what
no
it is.
sound on there.
Yeah,
You want to record it on your phone?
I mean, I only got 15%. I mean, it'll work. Just, yeah, we'll chop it
Okay.
up on the podcast.
All right, hey, go to Facebook Live, everybody that's on the YouTube Live. All right, I'll tell them I'll write it on here.
Yeah.
Facebook Live. That's backwards. Peace out.
And you could leave it. Well, no, I ain't got no sound. Yeah, never mind. All right, go if my boy texted me.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, we need to do some test runs. Yeah, we are getting some merch. We got to. That's what's been on my list. I just haven't been around to getting it.
Some merch.
Yeah.
Really
It's
wanna-
funny Raheem's on here because I'm actually going to talk about something I talked with him about today.
Let me see something real quick. Go live. Sorry, I just wanted one more try, man. Let me see. Yep. So 74 done. Error loading live podcast. Go live. All right, one more time. Can y'all hear us out there in YouTube land? Anybody? I don't have. There's nobody
Are you
watching.
live on it?
Yeah. You want to check it out? Check. Can anybody hear me? Anybody? Check. Check.
Oh, what's up, Adon? Yes.
Check.
My boy from high school. What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
Uh-uh.
Oh, you're looking at,
That's YouTube.
oh, check.
Yeah, it's not coming up. We'll do some test runs later.
All right, fuck it. So we're going to do this one on totally Facebook Live. What's up, everybody? Sorry about that. Thanks for hanging in there. Episode 74. We got a lot of stuff, man. Let's start talking some shop.
Yeah. All right. So
This is a slow season coming up.
oh yeah. We're talking about the down season because I noticed Dallas has been super slow. But I was able to secure a 4-month booking from 2 different people on the same property. using Pricelabs. So that definitely helped me out. So yeah, man.
So okay. So you've been talking about this Pricelabs for a while.
Yeah.
And it's better than Beyond Pricing.
Yeah. Yeah.
How the hell did they book you up for 3 solid months, 4 solid months?
I just changed. I manipulated the pricing, like Saeed said. Pretty much what I did was I set that little 4-night minimum rule if it's 20 days out or less. If it's 20 days out or more. So one of my properties, one dude that came in just booked it for a whole month. And then I had that rule set. So the next person who came in after him, they automatically had to wait a month. So he ended up just taking it for the next 3 months. So I was like, cool. And it was all through Airbnb.
Damn.
Oh, but that ain't the biggest story I have. I wish I could actually. I wish there's a way. We're gonna get all our video edited up. But somebody, remember what I did with my condo? I put everything up for like $1,000 a night because it's currently rented.
Right.
The first person who hit me up, she was asking to book it, but she was asking me to lower the price, to $1,600 a month. But it was listed at like $33,000 for it to stay. Lady came in today. She wanted it for the $24,000. I'm like, dang.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but I haven't heard back from her though. I don't know because she was like, you can take it. She was like, I'm a traveling nurse and I just want it for 3 months. And I'm like, as soon as I hear back, hey, I'm gonna call my tenant. Like, hey, I'll run you some bread to get out. Hey, I'll run you some bread, get up out of here.
The hell.
But I don't know, but I'm shocked that anybody even hit me up about it, but they did. So I was like, oh, snap.
See, I figure, you can sniff out a scam better than most people because you've been doing this for a while. You think there's any chance she could be trying to pull a little scam?
She was. I don't know what she got to at least pay me up front, at least. So that's what she gonna give me at least 10, 12,000 up front.
God.
I'll pay a lawyer to evict you after that. I don't give a damn. I got some money to spend. But I don't know. But yeah, that's been about it. So about the Pricelabs and everything. So what's been going on in your Airbnb world?
My Airbnb world, a lot of stuff, man. Shout out to Khan if you're out there, our super agent friend. He's been kind of a mentor to us. Well, he's actually bouncing from one of his houses, and
What was that?
every 2 years. Is it that? What the fuck? What in the world's going on? This is a crazy show so far. Is it still doing that?
Yeah. It's real staticky. Yeah, it's real staticky.
God dang it.
Is your mic?
How about now?
No, I hear nothing.
Say something?
Boom, boom,
Oh. Say something?
boom. Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Are you holding something close to the microphone? Oh, okay. Maybe the phones. Or is it the headphones?
Oh, hold on. That's static. Was interference. Ooh, yeah, they ain't doing no more.
Check.
Steve looks beat.
Man, this is just. Now y'all can't hear it over there, but we heard like this loud, as we're dropping listeners. We heard this loud thing in our earphones. So now we're back, and we're gonna power through, man.
Boom, boom. Okay, yeah, it's working.
So, all right, yeah. So Can is selling one of his houses. I'm thinking about checking it out.
You were buying somebody else's house.
My sister's.
Yeah.
You know what happened with that? I'll go to that real quick.
Oh yeah. What happened with that?
Well, she his company, my sister's my brother-in-law,
Mhm.
his company is kind of like they said, well, they're paying for the move to California, right? My sister's moving to California. He's got another job and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so they're gonna go ahead and they said they pay market value for the house.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. And so instead of going through me, they said, well, we'll see what they say. They're going to pay for an appraisal and then go and then give us a price and stuff like that and see what happens. And so I said, cool. I said, well, just let me know what they say about the price and we'll see what we can do on our end. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, it's funny because I bumped into Can over there at the Northeast Mall of all places.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he came up behind us. He said, hey, man, what y'all doing here? And I was like, doing some Christmas shopping. What about you, man? And so we caught up a little bit. I hadn't seen him in a while. I really talked to him in a while. And so we went over.
About 20 Airbnbs now, don't he?
And this one that's the thing. This one he's selling, actually, he was Airbnb-ing out of it because he had bounced. It's the one off of East Chase and 30 over there. You know where that's at? East Chase and 30. Yeah. So he, Can's thing is pretty genius. It's pretty freaking genius when you think about it. He moves every 2 years. They get a new house. They get another house. And so what happens, they'll get a fixer-upper, they'll move into it, they'll fix it up real badass, and in 2 years they'll sell it. The reason, of course, they do that is because
flip.
Yeah, if it's a live and flip. So if you live in a house here in Texas for 2, and most states I believe too, but if you live there 2 years, 2 out of the 5 years that you own it, you could sell it for a profit and then keep all the profit tax free. So what Can suggests is that we all, do this tax free money claim every 2 years, and it's a pain in the ass to have to move every 2 years. But he's saying if you move into a fixer upper or something, halfway decent, fix it up nice, move out after it's appreciated 2 years, and plus it's worth more because you fixed it up a little bit.
Yeah,
and then and sell it, and you get that chunk of change. Let's say you made $50,000 off of that.
You ain't got to pay capital gains on it, right?
No capital gains.
Yeah,
but you have to live.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, you have to live there 2 years though. Is the only catch, and you have to, And so he every 2 years, no matter what, he's moving houses.
Couldn't you homestead it though?
I
mean, you might run into
he's never
barriers.
He said he's never homesteaded a house just because he moves so much. He's never even bothered to try to homestead them because he knows after 2 years he's going to move, and so that's why.
What area is he buying in? Like, is he like going to like School Digger and guaranteeing the appreciation is going to be there? Or I guess it's just Dallas is just a hot market right now anyway, so they probably just don't.
I think he buys them as such. He buys them as such a deal that he'll force appreciation into them, even if it's not the best school district, stuff like that.
Okay.
So, because I mean, he hangs around the Fort Worth area a lot.
I noticed that.
Yeah, he stays around Fort Worth, and so so that's what he's doing now. He's moved out of this one, and so he's not lived there for 3 months.
Really?
And so he's been Airbnb in it. And so it's already, I mean, you walk in, it's funny because I went, and he has the code on the door. He said, here's the code, go check it out. And I went on my lunch break and I met my wife there and did the code, got in. There's a wine, a bottle of wine waiting there in the living room with the glasses. I mean, it's all Airbnb'd out, right? It's flawless, furniture. He goes high end.
Oh yeah.
So I've been to one of them. Yeah, nice hardwood floors and paint, beautiful painted, and a nice kitchen. It's got the nice furniture, leather furniture. It's got the nice beds. I mean, and he'd even break me a deal to just leave the furniture behind for a fee, Yeah. And so I could move in day one. It's already ready to roll, kind of thing. And I could even Airbnb it from day one if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Although it's illegal in Fort Worth.
They don't care for
He
it.
said-
They don't care for work. But no, like if you, but it would defeat your purpose of it would defeat your purpose of moving into it, letting it appreciate and moving 2 years, right?
And that's the thing I was thinking too, because I'm buying at market price, right?
Yeah.
And so
He makes that like
I wouldn't
that.
be doing. He'd be making good money, yeah, I'm sure, and he deserves to. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're gonna go in there and fix up a house, he's got to pay his guys to do it, fix it up nice, do all the stuff, buy the furniture, decorate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. I mean, of course, if someone puts the hard work in, they deserve the profit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if it makes sense to me financially to move in there, and I can rent this one out, at a certain rate, and make some money off of it.
Oh, I see what you're
Then
doing.
it's that's why I'm kind of nervous to go take a jump like that, because it's a little higher end house, right? It's 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2 living areas. I mean, it's nice. I mean, they did a real good job on it. And one other thing that's holding me back a little bit is that it was built 2007. It's a newer house.
Newer house.
So they got this freaking micro yards, dude. The yard is so small.
My yard's small.
Yeah, but the thing is with this, I can handle a small yard. I've seen friends that do some cool stuff with a small yard. They'll like concrete most of it and make a little garden, and I mean they make it look cool. Put a little shed. I'm cool with a small yard. I don't have to mow it, stuff like that. But this one's weird because it goes out straight, just like an area where you can have like a little bitty spot to do the barbecue and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it goes straight up a hill. So that's like there's a chunk of the yard I can't even use if I wanted to, because it's like at a steep angle. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Can can sell ketchup to I don't even know, ketchup with women with white gloves on, or whatever he said. How to say it.
Yeah.
Ice to an Eskimo. He's a good salesman. He said, "Oh, just put a what's it called, a barrier wall or a
barrier wall,
one of those
around it, in front of it."
Yeah, one of those. So I guess we'd have to dig out an area and put one of those kind of a wall out of brick or something like that to make it where we could use that chunk of yard.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I've always because I've been buying older houses.
Yeah.
And I grew up in older houses, and every house I've ever been to has a big yard.
Yeah.
And I've just grown accustomed to that. I know it's not a necessity, but I just like, man, I don't know. I like a big yard.
Because I grew up in the Northwest, man. Ever since I moved to Texas, man, they got the smallest yards I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'm talking my whole house could fit in my parents' backyard. Like that's how big it was. So when I got here and people just started, I started buying houses, it's just, man, I've noticed the backyards are so small. I was like, dang, I had to deck my whole backyard out where I live.
Yeah.
I had to put a whole concrete slab back there. You been in my backyard? I don't think you have. Yeah, I had to put a concrete slab back there, build a like a, what is it would be, a patio. I built my own patio back there.
Yeah.
The backyard was kind of small, and man, I had never seen no small backyard. So I moved to Texas, man. I was like, dang.
Well, see, that's the thing. Texas used to be big backyards.
Also, the houses are close together in Texas. So the only way to get a big backyard is to go outside of like Arlington. You got to go to like Kennedale and get a big backyard.
Right.
Yeah, you got to go outside the city.
But anywhere that's doing newer houses, like from the mid 2000s on or whatever, they're all like small yards. They try to cram
the inner city. Yeah, because they want to
try to cram as many houses on a piece of chunk of land that they can for the
money.
bang for the buck, and that's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't even, I don't know, they don't utilize the backyards like they used to back in the day.
Yeah,
because I'm talking just like when I was a kid over Haltom City, my grandparents' house. They had half acre in their backyard. A small little house, but it was more about they'd rather have a small house, whatever, to utilize to sleep, eat, sleep, whatever, and have a big yard. And they plant stuff back there, and they utilize. They just, I guess as we progressed from a agricultural society, we were used to big open spaces, big land, and using the land, living off the land, and it just kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking to like it's like the yard starts at this wall, ends at that wall. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's a Texas thing, man. And I'm serious. I've never seen that, because when me and my wife were looking for a house, we were like, man, why is there no yards? And the realtor told us, she was like, you ain't gonna get no backyards. You got to go outside the city. Because remember, when I was buying my house, I was purposely looking for a house in Arlington, but I wanted it to be in Mansfield School District. And she was like, you ain't gonna get no yard. So I was like, all right, cool. You know, I'll settle with the appreciation. But
it is the inside of the house is nice.
Yeah.
It's big. I mean, like I said, it's more. They'd rather people nowadays have a huge house.
2-story or 1-story?
1-story. I don't know. I've always liked the 1-stories. I'm not opposed to a 2-story. I've always heard that the electric bills are a lot higher than 2-story.
They are.
Is that correct?
But you pay more for 1-story.
Really?
Yeah, you build out, not up. You build up, you pay less. You build out, you pay more.
Ah.
Yeah, I never noticed. My dad told me that. It was like they bought a house in Arkansas.
Yeah.
It's about the same square footage as mine, but it's 1 floor. And he told me the price on it. And he was like, yeah. He was like, you got to kind of settle for it when you get older. You go keep going up and down stairs. So yeah, I noticed the one because I'm like, why are these 1-story houses this much? But I understand it now though.
Huh.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, you use more square footage.
Sweet.
Like, yeah, man.
So
how was the December? My bad. So this is what I noticed. I noticed a little trend. It's like where you want to put your Airbnb or short-term rental, Airbnb, whatever. So I noticed in Dallas it's been real slow, right? I'm pretty much getting booked on weekends and I'm having to slash prices in the middle of the week. But my Arkansas place booked whole month of December.
Huh.
But what I noticed was I was listening to Al Williamson and he said people don't travel in December. They stay with their families, and the places they go to like where the older people are. And Arkansas is a retirement state, so people go where the older people are. You know, your grandmamas, your aunts, uncles. You know. So then I was wondering why I was booked there, but Dallas is so slow. So I start to see why you should have places in different cities, like different areas. Like Dallas is the big city. You can have one here, have one in like rural Little Rock where I have one, and it can offset all your costs. It was really weird after I started noticing that little trend. So people don't travel in December.
They don't travel in December. What
They
about
go
for
to,
Christmas and stuff?
People, you think so? They really don't. Thanksgiving though, yeah, they travel. But Christmas, they just.
I've been pretty booked up this December.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I've been
see,
almost
I
at
ain't
capacity.
Not mine. Also, you have a bigger place though.
Yeah, it's more family. I took your advice, by the way.
What?
I took our picture off of the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I put SNL. I had to come up with something real quick, so I put SNL family rentals, and
you got to take your personal information off that. Because I looked, I'm like, man, you got your whole personal. Yeah, you got to take all your personal info off though. Like you got to do it as a business, as a company. So
here's the only difference between about how y'all are doing it and how we're doing it, because we still love to use Airbnb and travel, and we like to book spots and I like to, I don't know, I just when people see that we're gonna book something, they're gonna say, oh, this weird business wants to book my place, you know. So we're using it on both ends.
Instant book only.
Yeah, we could do instant book only, but there's some good ones that are not instant books that we like to stay at too.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we got to talk about Carter's instant book situation.
Carter, I want to hear this, man. What?
Oh yeah, we never told you how we were talking about.
No.
Okay, so she's going to Vegas next month.
Okay, Carter is a listener of the show, fan of the show.
So she's going to Vegas next month. She found a place on Airbnb. She found this full apartment for $40 a night, and she booked it. Instant booked it. The dude comes back to her, sends her a message, is like, "Oh, my bad, my prices were wrong, and the place is really $150 a night." He asked her if she would pay the $150 a night. Of course, she said no. So she posted what happened in the group, and I couldn't believe these people. The hosts in there, they're like, "Oh yeah, you should negotiate with them and meet them halfway on the price. It's not fair to the host." I'm like, hold on, it's not fair to the host, and he had it listed at $40 a night. It's like, man, that's some extra gambling money. I would leave that alone. You know, if you gamble, you know, but I'm not telling her to negotiate. They were like, you should just go 90 a night or 100 a night to go half. I'm like, I'd be good with my 40 a night. I'd be out in Vegas kicking it, man. So yeah, that was a story that happened, and she was like, they were going off, man. I'm like, y'all tripping.
Well, the dude wants her to cancel.
Yeah, and he wants her to cancel. And I was like,
what? And she's gonna like have to pay some fee and stuff if she cancels.
Yeah, like,
That's
cancel
dumb.
nothing.
Why don't he cancel then if he's so concerned about it?
Because he's one of them people that, oh, I care about my reviews, you know. And look, I ain't gonna lie. Let me tell you what happened to me a couple weeks ago. I had to, you know, my place got booked. Somebody checked out early. I duplicated my listing for my place downtown. As soon as I duplicated it, boom, I got booked. Man, I forgot to put a cleaning fee on that shit. I'm like, damn. So the whole reservation was just done. Like I didn't even make no money off the reservation, but I honored it. I was like, I lost on that one.
It's your mistake. I mean,
yeah, exactly. It's your mistake. You gotta add up. You gotta man up to it. You know, I was like, damn.
Just like a store, you know. I mean, they
made $12 off that reservation.
at least you profited, man.
Like, dude, just stayed in my crib for $12, whatever, you know. But I was, you know, and I paid to clean the rest. But yeah, man. I mean, it's a mistake. You know, that ain't nothing to do with the guest.
But always treat the guest right, because next time he's gonna. You never know. He'd be like, man, this is a nice place, nice stay. I'm gonna stay here again, and you might come back.
Yeah,
might not.
And then some dude posted, oh, well, the host can show up and deny you entry. I'm like, then he's gonna have to lose his listing. She's gonna get a free place by Airbnb. I'm like, she's in a win-win situation. But it goes back to show you how much power you have as a guest on Airbnb's terrible customer service platform. But yeah, that was a trip.
What if she? I'm sorry. If this host, and I want you to read some of the stuff that went on, if you got any of it, or just give me the gist of some of it, because I hear that it got pretty heated on there.
Oh, you know, I started trolling that after a while. I was like, okay, I'm about to troll.
This is the group, the Airbnb professional host.
Yeah,
Facebook
after a while,
page.
I just start trolling in there. I'm like,
I got kicked off of that group. I got kicked off of there, and you know, whatever, because I said something that was they perceived as racist. I was making light of something. I was just pointing out I was pointing out the obvious, right? And go back to a couple episodes, you'll hear what I said.
What did you say? You said, "Oh yeah." If you
then I was like,
white people.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, I kind of like the new policy because about not showing the pictures to us before we let them book at our place, because it's like it's like gambling. And then you let them book, and all of a sudden you wait, and then you see their picture, and you're like, "Oh right, it's white people." So I was making light of the people going crazy.
Quick for that.
I was just responding to the people going crazy about I want to know who's going to be in my house. You know, what kind of person's going to be in my house? Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is some discreet racism going on here. What kind of people do you want to let stay there?
Hey, man, now them hosts over in Melbourne, Australia, they don't give a fuck, man.
What happened?
Oh, I guess somebody had broken somebody's house. This lady's like, yeah, that's why I just don't host Africans. So I'm figuring like she's about to get some backlash, man. Like everybody liked that shit in Australia. I was like, damn,
wow.
I ain't booking no Airbnbs over there. I don't use the shit anyway, but you know. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy, but yeah, that I'll post some stuff in like the comment section of what they all said. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that just was kind of crazy. The host would say like, you need to. One lady said, you're screwing the host over. You ain't screwing the host over. The host screwed himself. Now, if she started talking about being compassionate, I'm like, yeah, you could say it's not compassionate, but don't say she screwed the place over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't screw nobody over.
What was that article that you posted today on Facebook?
Oh, about Portland? The city of Portland did what New Orleans did. They just went straight to Airbnb instead of trying to find hosts. Like, hiring these third-party companies, they just went straight to Airbnb. It was just like, hey, give me all the hosts, comply, and give me all the hosts that are hosted. And Airbnb was like, okay, we'll just turn over their information. It's exactly what they did to Arlington.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Arlington came out and asked who all was doing Airbnb?
Yeah, that's what happened. Like, who all got letters? Didn't nobody say, HomeAway said, everybody was like, yeah, I have an Airbnb. Yeah, it was Airbnb that gave the information up. It wasn't that hard to figure out.
So a city, all they have to do is
go ask.
It just ask.
Yeah, New Orleans shut down a bunch of people doing that. They just went and asked, and were like, and then after they asked, they went and just said, hey, in order to sign up, like if you go to try to create a listing in New Orleans, you have to give them this permit number that the city gives you to even make an Airbnb. which
That's just like the SUP thing they're trying here in Arlington.
not really, because Arlington, I think the Arlington City Council is kind of old, so they probably don't know that they can do that. They can you can set up a registration number, and then once your registration number goes through Airbnb system and back to the city, then you can host. That's how it is in New Orleans.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's why people kept saying, like in the group, they're like, yeah, let's tell them about New Orleans. No, we don't need to tell them nothing about New Orleans. Yeah, but Airbnb's been giving out people's personal information though.
Tell the world, Myka, what pisses you off the most about the Arlington fight?
Arlington fight?
Yeah, what aspect of what we're asking, the Arlington Airbnbers are asking for, this and that from the city, what aspect of that pisses you off the most?
I think they're lumping in home share hosts with remote hosts. That's what I don't like.
And even the most hardcore like cities that are trying to ban it, San Francisco, New York, whatever, San Diego, they make a big difference between the two, right?
Yeah,
you're allowed to do it.
Well, what happened was I think Denver kind of set the precedent on that when they were trying to say, hey, you have to. Denver set the precedent by pretty much saying they tried to ban it outright, and then the home share people, they're like, okay, we can't really tell these people who they can open their door to, because a home share host is technically letting visitors into their home. So it's a different category.
Right.
A different business model. And that's what I was noticing, because I'm thinking, like, people keep telling me, yeah, if you do home share, I don't think home shares are affected. I think home share people are putting themselves in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not putting myself in the mix like that. So if they say anything about home shares, that's when I'll have a problem.
So that article is saying pretty much there's nowhere to hide, and there's no way to underground anymore.
In that city, in the city of Portland, which is my hometown,
right?
Doing it. So I mean,
and if you claim that Arlington used the same kind of methods to get the information, then there's no point of doing the underground here either.
Because I don't even host in New Orleans barely anymore.
So what would be the solution? Did you jump off Airbnb altogether?
Yeah, they said Airbnb's coming, but they only allow you to have one listing supposedly.
Yeah, you can jump on that.
I mean, you can jump on there. You can. I mean, the only way is direct booking. Like I've been telling people, you got to do direct booking. You got to have your own platform.
The thing is to get the eyeballs to your platform, and if you use Airbnb,
I do it. I get people that hit me up all the time outside of Airbnb
without going through Airbnb or going through.
Without going through. Well, I use Airbnb to advertise myself.
That's what I mean. So here,
this is what I mean. They'll use. Okay, you can type Airbnb online and I'll come up.
Right.
But if you go to my Airbnb profile page, they can read and see, oh, I can just go directly through him without Airbnb, without even typing me a message. And they'll just say, hey, I saw you on Airbnb. Can I book this place?
That's great.
But I'm running into one issue. My bad.
Let's go.
I've been running into one issue. Like with my timeshares, it's kind of a trust thing. Like they can pay online, but they're like, one dude came up, he was like, hey, how do I know I'm going to have this place if you just book it outside of Airbnb? I'm like, yeah, I guess that's a trust thing. I was like, you can book through Airbnb if you want, So
yeah.
That's the only thing. I gotta get a reliability factor to come up.
And here's the thing too, because like back in when I started Booking.com, first it was pretty much, hey, between me and the guest,
Yeah.
And so I guess they trusted me back then. I was like, they would send me. I would contact them, talk to them directly, and I say, well, just send me, or you pay with a credit card or whatever, because I have the Square app. So you pay however you want, and then they pay me, and they said, okay, we'll show up tomorrow, and that was pretty much trust,
Yeah, but my question is Booking.com holds somebody accountable though. So let's say you get dude's credit card information, boom, you swipe the card, and he doesn't have access to the place. Who's the mediator on that?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, you were saying going through Booking.com?
Yeah.
Okay, but I was directly dealing with the guests.
But you got them off Booking.com?
I got them off there. Yeah, I got them off Booking.com, and Booking.com saw that I booked, and so they just sent me an invoice to say, okay, you booked with them, they paid you directly, that's cool, you owe us, $30.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So that's what he was saying. He was like, what if I get there and you don't give me access, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say you said, screw it, dude gave me $200. I'm out. I'm not giving him access. Who's the mediator? Or is Booking.com like, well, you did it outside of us. It's on you.
Here's what would happen. I mean, now it's all through Booking.com.
Yeah.
They figured out how to do it all through there, and that's fine. That's great. It's better. And but here's what would happen. They would put those. They're huge. They're freaking huge.
Yeah.
They're a multi-billion-dollar company. And so they would tell the guests, I'm sorry that they're doing that. We're going to put you in a similar price one, blah, 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 in the area. They're good about that. They treat the freaking guests great. And because they've done that to one of those guests that, remember I told you was going to stay at my place. And at 12 midnight, they booked my place, which someone was already there. And so I told Booking.com what happened. They're kind of blaming me for not blocking my calendar. What the freak, whatever. Someone was already there. Yeah. And so they said, well, we're gonna relocate these guests to another place, and we're gonna charge you for whatever the difference is. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna pay that shit. I went back and forth with them for a while, and they finally waived the fee. It took hours and hours of phone calls. But I was like, but that's what they do. If that situation, if you didn't let them in your house, they would put them up somewhere else and they'd pay for it.
How would they get their $200 back?
If from
you,
they wouldn't get it from me. They would invoice me, and then they hit my credit, all that shit.
Oh, okay, so there's a way of accountability.
It's a little bit, yeah.
If
I don't care about my credit, then it doesn't matter. But yeah, there's a way for them to go after, because you sign all that shit when you sign up with them.
Yeah, so, a little bit.
So Booking.com. So I think back then I think there was ways for guests to scam Booking.com by doing that crap. Last minute bookings. And then that person won't let them in. Hey, Booking.com, this person ain't letting me in. They'll put them up at a nice place, and they'll pay for it. Or they'll pay the difference. That's the thing. If the guest kind of still has, let's say they booked it for $100, all they could find that night in the area was something for $200. Booking.com would only charge them $100 a night, their original money, and they would pay the rest. How much
do they charge make off percentages? Because I ain't been on Booking.com.
Shit, I know it was kind of high. It was higher than Airbnb. Yeah, it was a bigger percentage.
Yeah, because they sent me like an invoice for a couple $100. I was like, I'm good. I'm not paying that. So, yeah, because they were saying somebody had booked and didn't. I was like, nah, I'm good. But yeah, what else you got on the list, man? We got throughout the Pricelabs.
Well, you wrote a whole bunch of stuff on here, didn't you? Or did you?
Yeah, man. I was talking to, matter of fact, one of the people that's actually watching, my boy Raheem. He was telling me about, and he was talking about making his kids entrepreneurs, man. And I was like, that's like some best advice you can give to your child is to make them an entrepreneur. Because like he was saying, his kids told him they want to go to college. They don't want to go to college. So he was like, hey, well, next thing's up to be an entrepreneur. And he's getting his arbitrage business popped off, which is pretty dope, Shout out to him for that. Because I tell people all the time, if your kids tell you they don't want to go to college, a lot of people start getting mad at their kids, try to force it on them. And if you teach them instead how to make money on their own, because I was telling them, what you do is that once they get a job and they learn how the corporate world works, and then you teach them how to make money outside of that, and you realize you can make more money outside of that easier than on a corporate job, I said that's when they'll find to love it.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's what happened to me. I was like, dang, I can make this much money working this amount of time, way less, So that's when it'll really hit you.
Sweet. I did.
Yeah.
I did. Okay, what I wanted to dive in is because you're super Myka, right? You do all this. I mean, you got your hands in every cookie jar there is. You got the arbitrages going on. You got your Airbnb out of your house. You're of course you work full time doing all that. Your wife's got her entrepreneur stuff going on and her full time job also. And I'm just wondering, how do you balance all of it, first of all, and how do you keep track of all of this? I mean, what kind of stuff, what kind of tools? Because I'm terrible at organizing things.
Yeah.
I got one Airbnb and one long term, and it's still to me it's a bunch of work. Yeah. And I have the hardest time organizing. I'm not an organized dude.
Yeah.
And I think that's hurting my growth, my potential growth as a business person. And I'm wondering how you do it and how you're growing.
It's a bitch. It is, but it's systems, straight up systems. The people you have, like Mahogany helps me. I try to help Mahogany as much as I can with her side of like the fitness thing that she's on. Go check out Mahogany Fitt, by the way. That's with 2 T's. But I try to help her out as much as possible. She helps me out. We have a boss player ass virtual assistant by the name of Chelsea. Shout out to her. She pretty much makes my whole Airbnb business run. She runs it all from top to bottom, and that shit goes. So without them, it's your team and the processes and the systems you can put around that team to make it go. Like with my rentals. Oh, and shout out to my parent, my mom, dad, and my aunt. They've been taking care of my one in Arkansas. That's what I was going to tell you. I might buy the house next door to the one of my own in Arkansas because it's doing so good. But I was like, I'm going to give it a year because I want to see what the year numbers look like. Then I'll hop on it. Because, man, I'm killing it down there. I'm like, dang. I'm like, I ain't going to tell nobody about this because, man, that's a gym. Can't be telling people about the Arkansas game. But yeah, it's really the team you can have around you. You have to have a team. You have to have systems. But the work, marriage, all that, man, it's time consuming. You gotta put time, effort into it. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Lately, I've been listening. I always do my sports podcasts. I love the Herd podcast. I listen to another one called One Extraordinary Marriage, just like marriage life, business. But yeah, it's just you got to really train yourself, man. It's effort. You got to put effort into it.
So you try in Arkansas, going back to that a little bit, you want to buy the house right next to it, maybe, perhaps.
Maybe, yeah.
And so you do a little of the Al Williamson thing, right? Improve the
That's
street.
what I was thinking the whole time too. Because remember, I was telling you, it ain't.
That's our mentor, Al Williamson.
Yeah, it ain't in the hood, but it's around the corner from the hood. Like every time I get a review, they say it's in a sketchy neighborhood, but it's a really nice property. So I get a bunch of 4 stars on the location, but other than that, it's cool. I tell them, like, I try to spice up the place a bit. I'm like, hey, I lived in this house while I was in college, make it seem like it's a college-friendly town. Then they pull up going, oh, shit. But no, it's not like a bad neighborhood, but it's like,
It's got some flavor.
Yeah,
it's got some seasoning. Some Larry's.
You can pick you up something if you walked around the corner. But I'm just saying, like, one person wrote it in there. They're like, once you drive around the corner, it's a bit sketchy, but other than that, it's because that's what me and my mom were talking about. Me and my mom were like, well, dang, if they come around this corner, I was like, I think they'll be straight, because Mahogany said it too. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, I think it'll be straight. But, yeah, but it's been working though. It's averaging 5 stars, but I don't think I can ever get a 5-star on the location though.
Just stay away from the corner of Malcolm X and Cesar Chavez, and you'll be okay. You'll be all right.
Man, but yeah, man,
that's unpolitically correct there. Sorry.
But yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but because I remember when you first got into it, that's what you kept saying. You're like, man, we should go buy up some houses, in the hood, and just start fixing. I was like, I don't know. And then I talked to Al, and Al was like, that's what he does. I'm like, oh, snap, we might have something under that, So I don't know. I'm going to look into it. Might be revitalizing some neighborhoods.
And my buddy Wayne from work always says, there's money in the hood.
It is. You know how to get it. There's money in the hood.
It's money, you can get whatever you want.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, that's what I was wondering the most. I mean, I'd love to, because I listen to a lot of podcasts, too.
Yeah.
A lot of business ones, a lot of real estate ones, and they bring up this thing. They bring up QuickBooks all the time. They bring up
use that
FreshBooks. So what?
FreshBooks
is another one. It's probably like QuickBooks. I don't know.
Yeah,
is QuickBooks is just like the tax software, or you can set up your whole business through that?
I'll set up my whole business through it. I can create invoices. I pay like $32 a month. I got a good CPA that I'm running with. As a matter of fact, it's almost the 31st. I got to start. Matter of fact, I'm throwing a party at my house. I need the locals. I'm having a holiday bash at my house. Y'all can come through. Need some tax write-offs, so we'll be holding an Airbnb giveaway. Yeah, I got to write off some stuff. So, yeah, I'm about to be having, your charitable donations? Yeah, I got a few of those going out. So, yeah.
Can you write off Henny?
Yeah, you can, actually. You can write off Henny. Yeah, as long as it's given to the guests and they consume it.
Right.
Write off some Henny, some Crown. We're gonna write off all that.
I heard this. Speaking of write-offs, I heard this guy on one podcast. He was saying that when he was looking for, he did all his entrepreneur stuff in the hustle, but he was always still looking for a job, and he'd always go on job interviews. He'd go, oh yeah, I'd go to Chicago, New York, LA. He named all these spots. And said, I did like 100 interviews one year. Like, what the heck? Why are you doing so many interviews? All over the place. Oh, well, I might go in and interview in LA on a Friday and then stay there for the weekend, but it's still a business trip.
There you go. Straight up, because I remember I was matter of fact, it was about last month, I think. Me and my wife, we drove down to Arkansas, and my mom, she had bought a bunch of stuff, and she gave me the receipt. She's like, hey, write this off as business expense. You drove down here, just tell them you looked at your property. So that's what me and your dad used to do when we fly down here. I was like, dang, okay. Just tell them you looked at your property. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. So, I mean, tax write-offs are cool.
Yeah. All right. So, do you do spreadsheets and stuff?
I just use strictly QuickBooks. I just give what you can do in QuickBooks. You can just add all your expenses, add all your cards, whatever it is you use, and then give your accountant an email to log into it, and he'll just run it from there. So whenever my accountant needs me, if I'm slow updating stuff, he just send me a text.
Now, does it have where you can take pictures of receipts and it'll post them automatic? There's some apps that do that now.
Yeah, I don't really do receipts though, because I do everything on cards.
Oh, okay.
So I just automatically import it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can use receipts, but you can do cards. You get it way faster. But yeah, there's features to do that though.
Oh, nice.
Definitely.
So it's worth the $32 a month.
Yeah.
Not that we're advertising for them or nothing. Find
Oh, yeah.
find y'all's own.
Really
thing.
shouldn't have told y'all that. They need to be paying us saying their names straight up.
QuickBooks.
But no, that's what I use. It works for me. Have you looked at how you're gonna write off your Airbnb taxes? Or your Airbnb income, how you're gonna do it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, talk to a CPA?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Why
Okay.
is that?
I was just wondering. Because I know, because I put everything, you don't operate under LLC, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay, because I hear a bunch of people in the professional hopes groups that says you can get more, you can still get good tax write-offs if you just write it off under yourself.
Right.
Yeah, but I ran into some trouble like last year. I was like, I ain't doing this again.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, I ain't doing this shit. Because it looks like you made too much money, and then you got to worry about what you're dishing out. Yeah, I was like, nah, I'm putting that shit under LLC.
I did my taxes on the H&R Block, where you can, you pay $80 and you do like your own taxes online kind of thing. And they have a free one, but if you have like real estate, it said, you should use this one because, it's more whatever. And I just followed it step by step. And one of it it told me to list my rental properties. And one of the ones was it did ask questions if this rental property was people staying like less than 30 days, whatever. And so I just followed that one all the way through. So I don't know how it calculated it or what, but
did you owe anything?
No.
Yeah,
I'm the sole income. Right now I'm the sole wage earner of the family, so that helps a lot. So I have my wife and I have my baby.
Oh yeah.
So that I've been getting nice returns back because the more properties you own, the more return. The better whatever called benefits you get. Yeah, deductibles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the last time I got a tax return, I think it was like $2, man. I was like, you can keep this shit, man. And I was thinking about that today too, but it really helps though, because I have income, Mahogany has income, and then we have our business. And I was like, dang, we really have three good streams of income coming in, so, but yeah, tax season, man, I was like, man, I'm making sure I ain't carrying all this stuff next year. That was bad.
But if you look at it another way, it's a sign that you're kicking some ass. So, I mean, I know it sucks to pay the tax man, but I mean, just like someone, I heard somewhere like someone made they made like 500,000 on a flip, right? Like, man, and one person's like, that's one thing said, oh man, I'd hate to pay the taxes on that. But the other guy's looking, well, they still made a shitload of money, even though they have to pay 25% or whatever the hell it was. They still.
I'll take 25% of 500. I'll take 25% of 500.
No, they kept 75%. They paid the 25%. So I'm just saying.
I'll keep 75% of 500 for sure.
It's kind of like a glass half full, glass half empty thing.
Yeah.
I had to pay so much in tax this year. That just made you made a shitload of money. That's a good thing, right? That's kind of, in a way, that's a good thing. But of course, try to try to pay as little as possible in the most legal way as possible.
Yeah. Oh, but man, so you sent me that article about Vegas coming down hard on short-term rentals.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it was crazy. Like a week after you sent me that article, all my stuff in Vegas just started blowing up. Like I'm getting bookings every day for Vegas. I was like, dang, what's going on, man? And I'm making some bank off Vegas. I'm like, what's going on? And then I look back and you sent me that article, and they're coming down on all those people because they're coming down on the residential people. That's why I said I think Airbnb. I don't think this is going to happen because I don't think it's going to happen. But I think they're going to try to limit Airbnb to home share hosts, and I think corporate arbitrages you can't really get caught because you're inside of an apartment building. You know what I mean? But I think those are going to be the people that's safe in the long run.
Yeah. And it's the article. I mean, it was kind of crazy. I posted it on the Astra group, the Arlington Short-Term Rental Alliance Facebook page, and I was like, because everybody's posting, any article that's either pro or against, what's going on right now. It's crazy. It's crazy what cities are doing. But I posted it on there, and I said, it said on the title, it goes just like that, 98% of the Vegas. Of the Vegas Airbnb, it didn't say Vegas Airbnbs, but the registered Vegas Airbnbs are now outlawed. 98%
That helped
gone.
me, man. Woo, I loved it. Kick them out. I'm
So,
good.
You should have registered, Myka. You should.
I don't know. I don't have to, man. And that's why my business model in Vegas was so dope. I don't have to register with the city. But as long as they don't do that New Orleans crap, I'm good. But yeah, I think a lot of cities, because Portland, you got to think Portland's all the way up in the northwest. There's a lot of cities that are going to start calling Airbnb directly, straight up. And I think Airbnb is going to throw money behind the Airbnb Plus cities like San Diego, Austin. They'll be like, we'll give you these people, but if you try to do anything, we're going to back them up with paper.
Now check this out.
Okay.
Would you? They're saying short-term rental ban. Everybody's saying short-term rental. No one's messing with the long-term rentals. Not yet, anyways. I think this might be I hope not. It's a Pandora's box to the government controlling more and more of your life is what I'm looking at it like. And so hopefully they don't mess with it. And
They can't.
anyways, quit saying that, man. You're gonna jinx it. You said that about Arlington. Arlington's never gonna ban it. Boom.
They ain't ban it.
Well, they
They
not
put
yet.
restrictions on it.
Pretty much a soft ban.
Yeah, there you go. Soft ban.
But anyways, what I was getting at is what was I getting at?
My bad.
It's all right. What was I saying up to that point?
You were saying the
The Astra group.
yeah.
Oh no.
You were talking about them banning.
Okay, they're banning STRs, and what
Yeah.
most people think an STR, short-term rental, is a rental less than 30 days.
Yeah.
And so what you could actually, a way, I think, and I'm sure people do it, a way to add, because Airbnb is the biggest advertising piece for your business that you could utilize, right? Airbnb. I mean, I guess VRBO is good too, but whatever, not as good. But Airbnb is the one everybody talks about. Ban Airbnb. It's there's hundreds of other sites, but still, Airbnb is the number one out there. And so if you could still have an Airbnb on your house, an Airbnb page and everything, you'd have to put, you must stay 30 days or more. You have to put that in the listing, right? And they can't mess with you. They can't mess with you because it's not a short-term rental. You could put on there, you must stay 30 days or more. Okay, that I've seen people do that in other cities. People, I even taught in Jasper when they started banning them over there in what's it called? Amsterdam. People would put that on their listing, you must stay 30 days or more, blah, blah, blah. Boom, you'd still kind of have some advertising, some exposure for your business, and you're satisfying the city. Look, the city tries to say something, look, I have it, they can only stay 30 days, whatever. But like with your business, it'll just be like a springboard to bounce them to your site, your personal site, right?
Yeah, but there's a hole in the system when you do that. Because the hole is, okay, you wrote in your listing you have to stay 30 days. But what if I can go now, do you have Instant Book on?
Maybe, I don't
Let's
know.
just say instant books on, but I can just click in there and go book 2 days.
Okay. Well,
see, that's the thing.
But the thing is, you have to put in your listing a 30-day minimum as on the calendar. You know what I'm saying? On the calendar.
On the calendar.
You could
yeah,
adjust
that works.
Yeah.
I thought you were just saying in the listing.
That's what I meant. You put it on the listing to indicate, hey, 30 days or more. And then the calendar is going to show, because like that's the thing, if they're choosing dates, right? If they're choosing April 7th or April 14th, you're not going to show up because your calendar.
Yeah.
They have to.
That's what I do. That's what I do with my content.
Right.
But you could create 2 listings, make one like a one night regular Airbnb, link it to the one that's 30 days, and then kind of, you can kind of play with it like that. But that's what I did with my now when I HOA, you have to do that. It has to say 30 days and they can only book 30 days. I thought you meant just write in the listing description.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a hole in that. It's a hole in that. Because you can go in there and book for minimum of 5 days or whatever.
Right. But I mean, maybe you think short-term rentals days are numbered as far as just like in residential places, residential cities.
I do.
Because
when I say residential, I mean neighborhoods. And
neighborhoods.
Houses.
Yeah.
Houses are the problem.
Right.
A lot of people, they say apartments are problems because they just call housing shortages. I know even in that article I showed you about Portland, they were calling housing shortages, which I don't really know nothing about it, but. Oh, that's a question. He said, do you have a business license for your Airbnb? Do you suggest that? Yeah, I would suggest operating that. Yeah, that came from Richard. Yeah, I would suggest operating under an LLC for sure.
And they can't find you?
Yeah, they can't find you if you operate. Well, I'll tell you this. Okay, this is one secret. I think I might have told y'all this before, what I really do. I operate under an LLC. No, I operate as a DBA. On Airbnb, I operate as a DBA. My DBA is owned by my LLC, so even if you look up my LLC, you'll never find me.
Right.
So that's what I do, So, I mean.
What up, JoJo? He says the Bears.
Oh, that's my boy, JoJo Nahar. Yeah.
¿Qué onda, primo? ¿Qué onda? Hermano, ¿qué onda?
But yeah, it's all types of ways you can get around it, but I think it is numbered in residential neighborhoods. But if you look, like, I ain't gonna lie, when I was at my last, me and Mahogany went out one night and we went to one of our units. Man, that place was just, and I kind of seen it then. The place was just crawling with Airbnbs. Like, I'm talking people walking down the halls, straight Airbnbs, bags in hand. And I think we told you about it. I asked one of the dudes because he couldn't get in. He's like, "Oh man, I forgot my key," and I let him in. And I was like, "Hey, you here for Airbnb?" He's like, "Oh yeah." And he just kept walking. I'm like, "Damn!" Like, it was a whole crowd of people. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I can see the problem." But I'm like, they'll shut you down if you don't do it right, But if you're doing it on a legal lease, I think that's where the bread and bacon is. The people telling people how to do it legally. And then, because I called an apartment complex about 2 months ago, and they're like, "We're not doing corporate leases at the moment." Yeah, because they know I think they have a certain amount they'll do.
Yeah.
And then, because a lot of people, the people that don't know you can legally lease an apartment complex and then put it on Airbnb, those people are the ones saying, "Oh, it's being run down." Because some of those people are legally, legitimately doing it, and the apartment complex knows and ain't going to say nothing because they're making their money.
Right.
So,
do you feel that there should be some kind of control on Airbnbs, that they're going to they could be detrimental to cities?
Yeah.
And get out of control and just take over all the houses in the city could be Airbnbs?
If you don't regulate it, it can be. Because, this corporate lease thing, people are catching on to it. It's too many channels out there. YouTube, we talk about it. People know, I can legally go lease it. So if you just get a bunch of people doing that at one time, I think it's up to the apartment complexes to kind of limit it like that one did. They limited it. They're like, no, you gotta have this, this, and this. So I think it's detrimental. I think residential neighborhoods are the biggest target to me.
Are you talking about just like standalone Airbnbs, like someone buys, a few houses on the street
Yeah.
to be Airbnbs? They're not going to live there. Like, but home shares. I still think that's cool.
Out of the question.
I think home shares are cool.
Me too. I don't think they're ever going to bother, because that's how Airbnb got started. That's what it originally was. It was a home share platform.
Yeah.
You go in, you do need somebody where to sleep. He sleeps on the couch. But residential, yeah, it's about to get hard, man.
You know who screwed it up for us? The hedge funders, man. The Wall Street. They went in there and started snapping up houses just for that purpose.
Did they? Or is it? I just don't think it's that.
Okay, places like San Diego, stuff like that. I mean, how many people can afford to buy a $2 million house in San Diego and pour $1 million of it to make it flawless?
Is that hedge funder or is that just the state of California? Where did Airbnb start? California. Why? Because the housing was too high.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They started that.
Right.
You know, if the house is too hard, they like, oh, dude, Chesky and them, they're like, oh, shoot, I can rent out my couch. And they start making money off of it. You know, I don't know.
I wouldn't mind seeing a shift towards it being mostly, home shares. Yeah, and then, people can have that mother-in-law suite. It can help pay for your house. And then, you can meet people coming through and show them your town. I think that's the cool part of Airbnb.
You remember at that city council meeting, a guy made a good point. Like, everybody in the blue was kind of against what he was saying, but he made a damn good point. He straight up said, he was like, if you allow short-term rentals, these people are going to get smart with their houses and start doing other stuff. Which I start thinking, I'm like, yeah, he's right. We probably will. Mm-hmm. And just what you just said, those in-law suites, you're going to try to have people build those in their backyard. I mean, I know I would try it, but I know you're going to have to get, because it's certain zoning that has to go behind that, right? If you
it was the same kind of SUP thing. I had to pay $1,000 and put in all the blueprints, and hopefully they approve me. If not, they keep my $1,000.
You want people to trust that, man? Hell.
I think it's crazy. Carter just chimed in. What's up, Carter?
What up?
So nice they named her twice.
But yeah, but I think residential neighborhoods are going to take a hit, if anything. And I think they're the easiest ones to get caught. I mean, ain't no way to hide it being a residential neighborhood. Somebody just snitch on you and it's over with. That's
it. Going back briefly to the Carter thing, we did talk about your story, Carter, a little bit. And we just...
yeah.
There's a lot of ignorant people out there.
Yeah.
And one thing I was saying... Because going back to real quick to Carter's story, I mean, if you listened to the beginning, you heard it. But like a brief recap, she booked a place $40 a night in Vegas, and the guy called her and said, "Hey, I accidentally there's supposed to be $150 a night. Sorry about that, but could you just go ahead and cancel?" And so she's like, "No, I ain't gonna cancel." And she got a good deal. She's already ahead in Vegas, and people end up ahead in Vegas.
Already ahead in Vegas.
Yeah. And so what I thought. I mean, instead of that host getting pissed off at her or whatever, and trying, whatever angle he's trying to work with Airbnb, say, okay, I would have come at it, and you come at it in a more positive way. It might have got something, might have got a cool solution out of it, but say, hey, okay, I obviously messed up, I'm gonna honor that price, whatever. But here's the thing, I pay my cleaner $100. If you could throw a tip, throw a few. If you feel good about throwing a few bucks at my cleaner, I'd really appreciate it. If not, whatever, I messed up, I'll honor the price. And and if I rented a place like that and I saw that as an honest mistake, hey man, I might throw some change at the cleaner.
Okay,
I'll be
honest. I'm gonna give you the host perspective and the guest perspective.
All right.
Now let's say I'm the host, and that happened to me. I got instant booked. Right? This is why you got to know the system. If I got instant booked at $40 a night and I didn't want it, he messed up when he wrote in the messages, "Hey, can you book? It's a pricing issue." He could have canceled it penalty free, just called Airbnb and say he was uncomfortable with the reservation. But he messed up by writing it in the messages. See, he could have got out of it, but he didn't.
So I don't know. Real quick, okay, no, I'll let you finish that. I don't want you to finish your train of thought.
On the other end, like on Carter's end, if I'm a guest, he says all this stuff. Like, hey, can you... He messed up first off. But now, if, let's say he books, says he's uncomfortable, I don't know how Airbnb plays it because I think Carter has her face like in the Airbnb professional host group. She wrote, "Why wouldn't you be comfortable? It's because I'm black." I was wrong. I was like, "Yeah, that's the way to go. That's the way to do. You're uncomfortable with my skin color. But I don't think Airbnb would tell you anything. They would just cancel it and say the host couldn't host or something like that. Because you can cancel instant books. But he messed up by saying it was a pricing issue. He could have said anything to get out of it to Airbnb directly. And that's why I got to know. You got to know when to call Airbnb and when to keep Airbnb out of it. If somebody messes up on the other end, you let them call Airbnb. Like the lady, matter of fact, the little lady who said she had bed bugs and posted all them pictures on the plant, she never went to Airbnb. And we told her to. And I knew it was a scam then.
Yeah. So with the Carter thing, what ended up happening? He said cancel it. She said no. And then what did it go after that? Did he try to get Airbnb to cancel it? What happened?
No, of course he ain't gonna get Airbnb to cancel it. It says penalty on him. He ain't trying to get caught up.
So the reservation is still staying.
Yeah, it's gonna still stay. It's gonna stay.
Wow. And so he can't do nothing about it.
No, but Carter gave me a good idea. I don't travel with Airbnb, but I'm about to start preying on people with bad prices. For sure. Hey, I'm about to start putting them little filters in there. Hey, $80, $60 a night. Somebody got something for $60 a night, and it's top of the line. Hey, I'm in there, They say they put the wrong price. Too bad.
Man, that's crazy.
Like, hey, make sure the air on when I get there too. So I send them a message saying
71 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay, so give a tip out there to hosts that get in a situation like that say, oops, I accidentally priced it at $40 a night. And so a quick way to get out of it, all they got to do is say they're not comfortable hosting this person.
Yeah, as long as it's an instant book.
It has to be instant book.
Yeah, because if you accepted it.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's an instant book, you can do that.
That's why you're against instant book. You were against it, but you changed your mind.
I'm for instant book. I actually find people that instant book are better guests than people that request, because people that request, it's only two choices. You either got bad reviews or you're new to the platform. So it's the new to the platform, I'm cool with, but the bad reviews, it's like, And then even this is the other thing about instant book. It really ain't a true comparison of who's a good guest, who's a bad guest, because most hosts are scared to leave bad reviews. I see that every day in the professional host group. Well, I'm scared to. Not me. I'll tell them straight up.
You'll scorch them, man.
Yeah, because I know this one day, my guest who's currently at my house, he almost got a bad review. Thought he didn't read the rules because I came home and a car was parked in my driveway. That's the quickest way to piss me off. He's like, oh, no, I was just bringing my stuff in. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I woke up, I knocked on a guest door at 2 o'clock in the morning for doing that, man. Parking in my driveway, man.
You'll be like Suge Knight and
no, I ain't gonna shoot. I don't want 40 years. I don't want that 40.
Straight out of Compton, remember?
Oh, man, I love that movie.
Don't bleed on my car.
Oh, man. But yeah, I mean.
So thank you for that information, Carter, that awesome story, and for lighting up the Airbnb professional host page that I'm still banned from, apparently.
I'll go in and make a request for you, man. I'm like, hey, I'll let Steve back in.
Oh, yeah.
They don't like me in there, man. They went off and today they said I was unethical and didn't have compassion. Like, it is what it is.
It's a dog-eat-dog
I'm
world.
because that's what the woman said. She goes, oh, I guess it's just a dog-eat-dog world. Yes, so. I mean, hey, mistakes are learning lessons. That's all it is. It's just a learning lesson. I did, like I said, I had a place. I forgot a damn cleaning fee. I lost money. I was like, but
we honored it, man. That's ethics right there. You honored it.
Yeah.
And
but calling a guest and asking them for $150? Come on, man. That's ethical to you?
No.
Yeah, what? But yeah, I don't know.
No, that's crazy. Yeah, so we appreciate all the people writing into us, and if you write into us, we'll talk about your situation on the show. You'll be famous. We'll make you famous. And shout out to Alaria, because she always shares our podcast on the Airbnb professional post page.
Definitely.
And that's pretty cool. So I wonder if any of the people know that I'm associated with Live Let Thrive on the. Probably some of them. We got some fans from there. We got some fans from there.
Oh, it was one thing I should have had. You something you wrote that I had a question about.
So
You
now
said, yeah, it's kind of real business related because it's something I probably have a few things to say about it as well. You said, don't let anyone squash your dreams, especially your family. Man, what was your idea? What was your thoughts on that?
well, my thinking on that. I mean, okay, just starting to buy houses.
Okay.
You know, right away they're like, "Well, how can you afford that? Well, what are you doing? Be careful. You might make a mistake. You might do that." I mean, automatically, I mean, maybe it's out of a nurturing, trying to help you kind of way, but all of a sudden, oh no, you stick with your job. Don't whatever you do, don't mess up that job. You gotta focus on that. That's the big thing. Don't get distracted by this other stuff. I mean, right away they just automatically default to, oh, you get a job, you stick with that, you live in one house, and how are you going to buy three? How are you going to take care of three houses? How are you going to pay three mortgages? It's just like all this negativity thrown at you right away by various family members. Because I said especially family members, because it seems to come the strongest from them, because they can feel they can say things that, like a friend or whatever. They might give some advice and stuff too, or say some negative stuff, but a family person will come at you, because they feel like they can. I'm trying to help this guy. He's.
You know what I was going to say something about that? Like, okay, you grew up here, right?
Right.
What I noticed is, even with family, if you move away from family and you show them success, they'll follow it instead of throwing the negative energy. But if you're right around the corner from them, they don't really look at it as success because you're still here. I noticed that. Kind of get what I'm saying? Like, I noticed when I'm like, because I'm all the way away from my family. I have a sister here, and just a couple family members here. They look at you a little different. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, dang, I can do that too. I can leave and do this, But if you're right around the corner from them, they don't just see it, especially if they see you every day or every weekend or whatever. You know what I mean? So I know what you mean. Yeah, you can't let them squash your dreams, straight up. Sometimes you just got to leave, straight up. Straight up. I found that you get a lot of success, like especially like here though, it's like too booming here. You can't leave here, because right here it's like
it's everything.
But like here it's like even your family here, it's like, dang, you don't see all the success coming here. You can get a piece of the pie,
A piece of it, man.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. That negative energy, man. You got to keep away from that.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing that was pretty cool, because my buddy Pedro at work, he has a son that's teenager, stuff like that. When we're teenagers, we want to just blow through money. That's just how it is. And what Pedro, I guess, just me and him talking about stuff like this, and about he said he always wanted to get into renting houses kind of thing too, but he said he bought like a big kind of McMansion thing. It kind of handicapped him a little bit, and I said, well, there's still ways to do it, man. I'm just trying to encourage him. You can still do certain things in real estate. You don't have to go out and buy a house, and you can do wholesaling. You can do all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And but he's talking to his son now. He's telling him he's trying to keep him on that path, trying to say, hey, man, as soon as you get in college or get out of college, buy your first house, and then fix it nice and go, move to the next one. Don't go buy it as much, don't overextend yourself as much as you can with the big house and the big car, all this stuff right away, status symbols. Look at me.
Yeah.
He goes, you just start off with the, basic house, get rented, start off with another one, and then another one, and accumulate, Yeah. He was telling him how to do it. That's house hacking, man. That's a great way to get ahead. And that's what I'm trying to do. And he's saying, I know you want to show people what you got, show the nice car, because he came out his dad saying, he wanted to see if he could help him, because he already has a car paid off. It's a nice car too. It's a nice car. But he wanted to step up and get an even nicer, like a new car, and get the car payment, and ask his dad to help co-sign and all that stuff. And he said, no, I'm not going to do that. You're going the wrong route already. What happened to the thing we talked about, getting a house here, growing. He goes, it does. And he said something cool, which, was what Pedro told me. He told his son, he said, it doesn't matter, all the stuff that they see you have, they see, the outward stuff that they see you, nice watches, nice cars, nice big house, you're showing. He goes, they don't have to see all that. He goes, you can live like a simple, you can have a, kind of decent things.
Yeah.
What they don't see is that big ass bank account you're gonna have.
Yeah, man.
They don't see that. They might, people judge.
Can't see equity.
Yeah, they don't see the equity. They don't see your bank account growing and growing. Who cares?
Yeah.
If they don't see all the material stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what's in your bank account is what counts. And I was like, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's real.
He's teaching his kid right.
Straight up.
Going back to teaching our kids right.
Yeah, shout out to Raheem for that because he brought that to me. He said, "Man, I'm gonna make my kid an entrepreneur." I was like, "Yeah, that's the way to go about it." Because I even like when I'm walking out, like I even teach. My son's only 3, but I kind of teach him stuff like that. Like the other day, me and Mahogany were walking out the door, and like I have my big sign that says Airbnb when we first walked in, and I teach my son. I'm like, "That's yours," So he starts to grab onto it in his head. That's his.
Right.
So. Yeah, it's the small stuff like that. Just teach him.
Plant the seeds.
Yeah, you plant the seeds, especially when he's 3. He might not understand it, but it'll just become memory to him. Like, oh, it's mine.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So yeah, man, teach your children well.
Straight up, man. Give them something. Give them something to pass something down to them. That's the biggest thing.
Exactly. So, episode 74, we had started off with some technical glitches, and if you're listening on the podcast, I'm going to edit all those technical glitches out.
Yeah, he'll edit all that out. Yeah.
But if you were tuned in live, see, that's the fun of live TV or live podcasting, live whatever.
Yeah.
You get to see all the stuff that I usually edit out for us.
Oh, yeah.
But
we edit out. It's not a lot of stuff. Oh, man.
But I hope you enjoyed it. We
got to get the YouTube up.
We'll get the YouTube
we'll
up.
get that work.
We're gonna, I could transfer this over to YouTube.
You can?
I've seen YouTube videos about how to do that.
Oh, never. That's what I was saying. I was like, that's why I didn't want to do the live. Because well, yeah, if you can do that, that'll work.
Well, cool. Liveletthrive.com, liveletthrive@gmail.com. How's the website doing, man?
We really got to update it, man. We've really been busy with everything else. We got to update it. But yeah, man.
It'll get back
to it.
So message us, liveletthrive@gmail.com. What's the number to your the hotline?
469-300-9100. Forgot to say, Peter Bayhuth called me today.
Oh, okay.
He was going off.
Who's Peter Bayhuth?
Peter Bayhuth. He's the one with the #1. If you haven't listened to our podcast, go back to, I think it's like the very beginning. Peter Bayhuth has the treehouse in Atlanta. He's the #1 wish for Airbnb. He lost his superhost status. He got real sick. He said his liver completely failed on him. He's been real sick. He got real sick, but he's better now. He said, man, he said he was like inches away from death. But he said he got back up, and he only rents it out in seasons. This treehouse is so tight that he can literally only rent it out. He can rent it out for, I think, 4 to 5 months out of the year, and it'll pay like his mortgage the whole year, because it's just that. Yeah, you guys, everyone should know who the treehouse guy is. Yeah, and he was saying, man, he's on his last straw with Airbnb, and that's what he was telling me. He was like, man, I got sick, I couldn't host, I had to cancel a bunch of people, they didn't help me. I was like, oh man, dude. So, he's real close to that treehouse. But shout out to him. He said he'd get better. But yeah, man, it's a trip.
It sucks, man. Airbnb, man, they treat people bad sometimes. Mostly the hosts.
yeah, but I talked to him for a while. I talked to him about 10 minutes, and he's how he is off air, man. He's going off on that. Yeah,
he's getting back on again.
Yeah. No. That's what he said. He said, man. He said the reason I called you. He goes, the reason I called you, man. He was like, I went back and listened to the podcast, and he said, y'all are supposed to be coming down here, part 2. I'm holding you to it.
Oh.
I was like, oh man, what would be the perfect time to go? What? Super Bowl. I just thought of that too. I'm like, dang, it's in Atlanta too. We could go to the Super Bowl, man. But
he'd be like, don't take away my Super Bowl listings, yo.
No, he doesn't open it back till March.
Oh, shoot.
Remember, he does. His is more of an experience than Airbnb.
It'd be cold out there in the woods, wouldn't
it? Probably would, yeah. Because his is more like an experience than Airbnb. I was like, dang.
We should record an episode there.
That's what he wants to do. That's what he said. He said, yeah, come there and record an episode. So yeah, he was down. But yeah, that was the last bit of our show. Shout out to Peter.
Peter Bayhuth, the guy that got us started.
Yeah. He was like at the very beginning.
That first interview, it was crazy because like, okay, oh wow, we landed the biggest, the #1 wish for what's it called?
Airbnb.
Listing in the world. This is insane. We get to talk to the guy, the man,
Yeah.
and this is gonna be a great. He's gonna give us so much knowledge. And the first thing he did, hey man, can I talk to you first before we do this? Oh yeah, okay. And so I called him, or he called me, and yeah, man, I'm gonna say a lot of negative stuff about Airbnb. I hope you don't mind. I was like, oh yeah, man, you can say whatever you want. It's like, oh man, there's no rules, right? I was like, no, go ahead.
Yeah, because you know it's funny when I was on the phone with him. He goes, "Yeah, man, I didn't know you all at that time. Y'all only had like 8 episodes." He goes, "After I looked, it was like 8 episodes. What did I just do?" I was like,
we were too small fry for him.
Yeah, but he was like, and he looked like that. He was like, "Oh, you guys are up to 70 now." He said, "It's good," but what he was saying was though, because like I didn't know if you actually Google his name, dude's been on HGTV, everything. I was like, damn, dude's like a big deal out
He
there.
don't need Airbnb no more.
Yeah, he really doesn't though.
He's his own brand.
He doesn't. I was thinking that too. I'm like, if you can Google your name and all that comes up, you really don't need Airbnb.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
Woo! Party foul.
yeah, straight up. That got me excited because I'm like, dang, because I was thinking,
you don't
like,
need him.
if you could build that much traction, you don't need him.
Get his own website, he's good to go,
He
man.
has his own website, peterbayou.com.
But can you book his place there?
I don't know. I'm in
That's what I
talk.
meant. His own booking site.
Yeah, he needs his own booking site because he don't need him.
Cut out the middleman.
I'm all for that. Straight up.
So there you go. Shout out to Peter. What's up? Thank you all for watching us on here and listening to us on the podcast. Y'all are the best fans we could ever ask for. Yeah. And we hope to keep pumping out some good material for y'all.
Yeah. We'll have a live when we're actually drinking. Those are the fun.
Crack out the rum.
Yeah. Peace.
Later.